It is India's balancing act and an independent foreign policy amid the Ukraine-Russia war. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has departed for his Poland and Ukraine visit and will be reaching there in a short while. Prime Minister Modi is scheduled to visit Poland first, making it the first visit by the Indian Prime Minister to the country in 45 years. The visit also marks 70th anniversary of diplomatic relations established between India and Poland, and though history between the two countries go far beyond. Ahead of the visit, Prime Minister Modi also has issued, meanwhile, a statement. Ahead of departure, he has said, India cherishes the deep-rooted friendship with Poland. He will meet the Poland counterpart and will also address members of the Indian diaspora, as always, in Warsaw. Amid the Russia-Ukraine war, and this is significant, Prime Minister Modi also travelling to Ukraine. This would be on a luxury train, Force One, to hold talks with President Volodymyr Zelensky. Remember, the war clouds are on right now, and despite that, Prime Minister Modi heading to Ukraine. In the statement, he has said Ukraine is a friend and a partner, and expressed that there will be a hope for peace and stability that will return soon in the region. So India has been a friend and ally to both Russia and Ukraine and would like to maintain it.
The visit today gives a great impetus. It will give a great boost to the relationship. I can see that clearly. I can see that already. The visit is an important one because Poland, as an important country in Central Europe, it is a significant member of the European Union. India has politically close ties with Poland, as well as economically important and growing relations with Poland.
Prime Minister Modi, if he comes to Poland, he will see that we talk a lot about Vikas and Pragati in Poland also. So Takaniki first, then we of course will talk about security, so Suraksha will also be high on the agenda given the situation in Europe and global tension that we are observing. That's also something that Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Tusk will be discussing. And of course, as you said, Raksha is always defense sector. So Raksha, we will be discussing these topics as well. Let's see what will be announced.
And at this moment, India today is on the ground. Gaurav Sawant had been reporting during the war. He has now returned for this visit of Prime Minister Modi. And in Kyiv, where, remember, while the war is on, what is the memorial looking like of the soldiers? Here's a report from Gaurav.
In the heart of Kiev, this is the Krishiatika area. This is the center, the nerve center of Kiev. And when I came here 2 years ago, when the war hadn't started, you'd see this place blooming with flowers, a lot of flowers here. 2 years down the line, those flowers have been replaced by not hundreds and hundreds, but thousands and thousands of flags of the brave Ukrainians who've made the supreme sacrifice of their lives fighting for honor, fighting for their country. And I want you to, for a moment, take a look at this place. This is where there are photographs of every Ukrainian soldier, a flag in the honor of every Ukrainian soldier who's made the supreme sacrifice of their lives fighting against the Russian forces. Their date of birth and the day they made the supreme sacrifice of their lives. Like in this case, this soldier who's been awarded a medal, born in 1996, killed in action on 30/8/2022. Watch here. Letters from daughters to their fathers, letters from young widows to their husband, letters from wives to their husbands, letters from mothers to their sons killed in combat. And this is the most traumatic part of this Russia's war on Ukraine, the loss of lives. More than the loss of territory, it's the loss of lives that hurts. This war has entered a very critical phase. You have Ukrainian forces that have launched a very audacious counterattack into Russia. For the first time in over 910 days of this conflict, Ukrainian forces, more than a brigade plus, with Bradley and Stryker armored fighting vehicles provided by the United States, with weapons and systems provided by Germany and other NATO forces, they've entered Kursk and they've taken control by some accounts, of over 1,000 square kilometers of Russian territory. In 2 years plus of war, Russia had taken control of over 1,200 kilometers of Ukrainian territory. Ukraine's done a counterattack in just about these past 12 to 15 days. But this too has led to loss of many, many more lives. In midst of all of this, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is arriving here in Ukraine. Will Prime Minister Narendra Modi, after his 8th July visit to Russia, his interaction with President Putin, and now with his interaction on the 23rd of August with President Volodymyr Zelensky, be in a position to talk about a roadmap to peace? A peace that Ukraine says must come with honor. A peace that should be just and fair, because these lives, these braves who've made the supreme sacrifice of their lives, their fathers, their brothers, their children, they come every other day here to pay their respects, to pay their tributes to these soldiers who will perhaps rise once again for their country, for their honor. But for Ukraine, this terrible, terrible war, it continues. A war that continues to claim young soldiers every day, that continues to claim lives every day. And in this scenario, Ukraine wants peace, but a peace where these supreme sacrifices would not be in vain. Gaurav Sawant in Kiev, Ukraine, for India Today.